Good morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee. I'm John Becker along with my colleague John North, and we welcome Randy Boyd back to the set. He wears about as many hats as you can imagine. We're going to talk to him about many. He's got a Smokies shirt on, but he's also the president of the UT system. He has served in that role for 5 years now, and we're going to start there. And we're going to start, Randy, with your tribute to a man who also held the same position, a man who served the University of Tennessee for 50 years, Dr. Joe Johnson, someone you wrote an editorial about, you call a servant, a mentor, and friend. What can you say about his contribution to the University of Tennessee?
We don't have enough time, John, but I'll just say that he's going to be a legacy that people look back on for centuries to come, and they look back at the history of the University of Tennessee. We talk about this being the greatest decade in the University of Tennessee, but if anybody talks about the greatest decade, you had to benchmark against previous greatest decades. In the 1990s, when Dr. Johnson oversaw, is definitely one of the greatest decades. All kinds of accomplishments. We created the UT Patel Partnership overseeing Oak Ridge National Labs. But more than anything, he was special. He made so many people feel special. Mm-hmm. We had his celebration of life just yesterday, and when we were visiting with him, or when everybody was sharing all their stories, everybody had stories about his notes that he would give to you. I remember my first couple of years on the job, about every other week I get a note from him saying, good job on this or good job on that, a clipping from a newspaper that he clipped out that had an article that related to me. And I thought, like, boy, he really loves me. I'm really special to him. But it turns out there's like 10,000 people that he did the same thing to. He made so many people feel special. And he had been everywhere and done everything. I remember the very first person I called when I got this job as the president of the University of Tennessee is Joe Johnson. I asked him for breakfast. We went to First Watch, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but there was something that he said that made me think, I need to be defensive. I need to explain to him that I actually know something about higher education. So at breakfast I'm saying, well, you know, Dr. Joe, I actually used to be the chairman of the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. And he says, well, you know, Randy, I created the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. So that was Dr. Joe. He, whatever you might say, he was actually there at the creation of it.
Wow.
I wonder if, perhaps it's a little early, if there's been any thought about some way to memorialize him or do something that's more permanent that the community can appreciate.
There are a lot of opportunities. I know a lot of people are talking about different things. I'm not sure how you memorialize a legend. There's lots of streets and buildings already named after him, but we'll continue to think about it. I will say one personal thing that I'm planning on doing. One of the things that Dr. Johnson often said was, you can never thank people enough. And that's one of the reasons why he did so many thank you notes. And it wasn't, and I send a lot of emails and texts, maybe say something to somebody about thank you, good job. But there's something special when you get a handwritten note. Yeah. So I'm going to make a little notepad that I can start sending out to people and just saying thank you. And he would say thank you for the smallest thing. A student escorts him into a meeting, and he would write him a note saying, thank you for escorting me into the meeting. Just the little things like that. And people that got those notes cherished them for the rest of their life.
100%. He put people at the top. Let's talk about the challenges you face in your role. You laid a few out in your most recent speech to the university system, talking about 3 grand challenges. They include substance misuse, the decline we've seen in our rural areas, and also improving our K-12 education system. Which of those 3 grand challenges do you want to tackle first?
Well, we're tackling them all already. And a lot of times I'll have people say, well, you know, higher education isn't the issue. We really need to focus on K-12. Well, where do those teachers come from? They come from higher education. And University of Tennessee provides more teachers than anyone else. We actually have this new program called Grow Your Own, where we're helping close to 2,000 people that have already started some other path. Either they're already in college pursuing a different type of degree, or they're actually in the workforce. We're helping them become apprentices within a program that will help them become teachers. So we're providing the teachers of the future, making sure that they can provide the kind of education that we need in the K-12 system. In substance use and misuse, we've got something called SMART, an initiative that is training rural communities on how to use the funds that they're getting as a result of a lot of the lawsuits and some of the opioid suits. So we're helping make sure they're doing better. And our in our rural communities, our extension offices are in every one of the 95 counties, helping in so many ways. And we're finding new ways to double down to help those rural communities. So it's a new initiative, but it's something that we've been working on for quite some time.
You've been attuned to education for many years now. It's been a particular interest of yours. I'm just curious, there might be some teachers out there saying, or some wannabe teachers saying, I'm not really sure I want to stay in this profession anymore. Do we need to create better incentives? Is there something more that needs to be done to either draw more teachers in or keep them?
Well, I think we all need to celebrate our teachers. There's certain parts that are beyond my purview, which would be at the state level, finding ways to provide more compensation. That's someone else's responsibility. But I think all of us can help in celebrating our teachers more. They're doing such heroic work, such critical work, and I don't know that we appreciate them as much as we should. So every opportunity that we get on this show, in my role, we should celebrate the great work that our teachers do.
One of the other hats you wear as a mentor for Tennessee Achieves, a program that you helped really, let's say, put the gas to the floor on. Let's talk about where that stands and how it's helping higher education and what you want to see from people in East Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee Achieves started 15 years ago. We've sent over 500,000 students. We've worked with over 500,000 students, and over 120,000 of them to college. They have to do a community service project each semester. In the 15 years, they've actually completed over 4 million community service hours. So we like to say it's free tuition and fees, but the students give back, and they're giving back in a real meaningful way. The most important part of the program is the mentorship. For having a mentor, somebody like one of us that actually can share with those students that they have the opportunity to succeed, and give them that word of encouragement. We hear too much about kids that have parents that are providing lots of support, maybe too much support, and that's true. There are a lot of people, maybe the helicopter parents, that are overindulging the students, but for every one of those, there's another student that has nothing, has nobody in their life that believes in them. So our mentors don't really help with homework or do that type of thing. What they do is tell those young people, you can do this, and give them that word of support and confidence that they don't otherwise have. And so one of the things that our listeners could, our watchers could do is to actually sign up to be a mentor at TennesseeAchieves.org. Go online, be a Tennessee Achieves mentor. It takes a few hours a semester, and it can change someone's life.
Maybe an hour a month. You can do that right now, and they're in need of mentors, certainly. We're going to talk more with the University of Tennessee president, the system president, Randy Boyd, about education as well as baseball when we come back on Inside Tennessee.